Right. Yay! Happy Monday, guys, and welcome to our Monday Night Live. I am so excited to have my friend Sonya. It was so funny. So Sonya, you went Emerald what, July? Okay. And seriously, when they were like, Sonya's going Emerald, I was like, she's already Emerald. I literally was like, no, she's not, because she's already there. I don't know what, like, I literally have thought you were a Jewel this, like, for a long time. So, anyway, I am so excited to hear your story because I know it's going to be really inspiring for a lot of us. And so, I'm just going to let you have the platform. So, you just kind of take it away and share a little bit about your journey, and then I might like pause here and ask some questions as you're talking. But yeah, take it away.
Sure. Hi, my name is Sonya Crist. Thank you, Jennifer, for having me on. It's funny. I've actually had several people be like, wait, I thought you were already Emerald. And it's like, no, it's just I've been in Plexus a really long time. But it is really sweet to hear people be like, but you already were a jewel, right? It made me feel like, okay, I really, belong here. Like I really did do this. So, yeah, I'll just kind of start like at the beginning, like why I started Plexus. So, I got notes on my phone in case I'm looking down, you know why. So I had actually struggled with autoimmune disorders for 17 years, from the time I was a teenager, and I was miserable. Pain, exhaustion, brain fog, it all kept me from being the wife and mom that I wanted to be. And I was sick of living, it felt like so selfishly because everything was about me. Everything was about survival. Everything was about like, what do I need to eat? What doctor do I need to go to next? What treatment do I need to try next? All the money that was going for my supplements and my treatments. And I was like, this is not how I want to live, right? But I could not find answers. I was stuck. Even though I was seeing who everyone considered to be the best doctor in the area. Um, at my last visit with him, he threw up his hands and he said, your body's not detoxing, and I don't know why. And I went home and I cried because I didn't know where else to go. Um, Also, my 9-year-old son at the time had gone from being a super happy baby and toddler and like straight A's in school and all of that to being severely, severely depressed. He had started self-harming. He had a plan to not be here anymore. We also were dealing with severe, crazy allergies like all year long, food sensitivities, bathroom issues, and more. And to top it all off, the teachers at my kid's school was like, have you ever had your son tested for autism? And so I found a new doctor to take him to, and she's like, yeah, he's definitely on the spectrum, but I'm going to like refer you to an autism specialist to, just figure out how to work with him, what to do with him. So we were waiting on a call for that, but honestly, I wasn't even that worried about autism because I didn't think my son was going to be alive. And I had started hearing about Plexus from some of my family members, and I was really, really skeptical. But I finally sat my aunt down and I was like, what is this weight loss pink stuff? It's got to be bad for you. And she started telling me the stories of like sleeping better and having less pain. And her grandson got off of depression and anxiety medication. And of course, that really perked me up. So I looked at the ingredients and I was like, oh, well, I'm already taking a lot of these ingredients. Like, there's nothing wrong with this, you know? I was already a pretty crunchy mom because everything we were going through. And I was like, oh, I can't pick this stuff apart. But I told her, I was like, I'll buy it, but I'm getting my money back when it doesn't work. I was probably rude. I was like, when it doesn't work. And she just smiled and she was like, okay, but you won't need to. And she was so right. Um, in the first month, I had a lot less pain. I stopped having headaches every day. I actually had energy to get through the day without crashing and falling asleep on the couch. Um, I used to have sugar cravings horribly, and I found myself reaching for apples instead of brownies. And I was like, who is this girl? And my son, in the first week, he smiled. And in the second week, he left. In the third week, he came up to me and he hugged me and he told me that
Wow.
he loved me. And this child, like, literally was saying, like, I hate you, I want to die. It's been 11 years and I still cry, guys. And after 30 days, we still had a long ways to go, but we knew that God had given us the miracle that we've been praying for. Um, so I have a question from like somebody else who had me on a call, and she's like, "So, what made you decide to like start sharing and grow your business?" So, my actual first order, I ordered retail Black Friday of 2013 because nobody was gonna snooker me into a subscription that I couldn't get out of. But I also told my mom, my sister, my best friend, maybe a couple other people before I even got my products because I was so hopeful. Because, like, I know my aunt, she wasn't going to lie. It was my husband's aunt, actually, it was on the other side of the family, but she's not a liar, right? And so I was like, I was hopeful, even though I was really skeptical. And of course, they're all like, well, let us know how it goes, right? Like, and so, after a month of just taking Slim, that's all I ordered to begin with, my son and I, and seeing such huge benefits, I joined for wholesale in January of 2014 because I knew that we had to stay on this stuff. We needed more of it, more products. And I had to have the best prices because we were spending so much money on like other treatments for him and I. And it's like, we had to stay on it, but I didn't really have the money, right? So I remember my aunt saying that if you told other people about Plexus, you could earn free products. And I was like, great, maybe I can get a free ProBio 5 after a few months, right? Because that was like the next thing I wanted to try. Um, but I earned over $300 my first like full month. And that was clear back in the day. I'm old, all right? Like not old myself, like old in Plexus. That was clear back when they still sent paper checks. And I remember walking to the mailbox and like getting this envelope from Plexus and opening it, and it was a check for like almost $300. And I was like, oh, they made a mistake, but I don't want to send it back. Like, I need money. So I called my aunt and I was like, I got to be honest. And she's like, no, 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 you earned that. And I was like, what?
How are you going,
I
Jennifer?
still,
Thanks.
I still like
Oh,
didn't understand it. I just continued sharing Plexus because I was really excited about what was happening. It might sound weird, but I really did not understand that I was truly earning money by sharing. Um, but I still had like a lot of brain fog. I still had a lot of things to heal from. And nobody ever just sat me down and was like, this can be a business, you can earn money. So I didn't understand what I was doing. Um, I don't think I really even understand what I was doing until I ranked gold in July of that year, and I read the compensation plan 7 times. But then I still had to figure out like, am I okay with being a network marketer? And then I had to figure out like, okay, how do you do this? I didn't have a whole lot of guidance. Um, so any questions at this point, or should I just keep going?
This is so good. So good. Like I'm loving it. Anybody have questions? Okay. Yeah,
So,
just keep. Oh,
okay.
yeah.
All right. So a lot of people's like, okay, what does your rank up timeline look like? And this is where it gets a little hard. So I ordered retail on Black Friday of 2013. I joined for wholesale prices in January of 2014, and that's back when you became an ambassador, like as soon as you joined. Silver in February of 2014, gold in July of 2014, senior gold February of 2015, Ruby August of 2015, Senior Ruby May of 2016. And I honestly think Jennifer and I were like at the same point, like at the same place at that point in time, because I remember like we worked together and everything. So Senior Ruby May of 2016. And there I sat for 9 years. Right after I went Senior Ruby, about a quarter to a third of my team quit. I went back in points for a few months, just a few months, like 3, maybe 4, but I rebuilt that and I maintained Senior Ruby points for all of 9 years, which is not a bad place to be, right? it's not a bad place to be at all. But I always knew I wasn't done. But three different times in that 9 years, my very severe, deep-rooted autoimmune issues flared, and they took me out for like a whole year at a time, three different times. So I got really sick each time again. Like a massive renovation caused at one time where I just had a major chemical, like toxic overload. COVID caused it at one time. My Epstein-Barr virus came out of dormancy and I basically had mono again, that sort of stuff. So each time I was sick, I struggled to do new reach outs. I struggled to really grow my business, but I worked really hard at maintaining what I had because I was like, I can't go to work. I'm too sick to go to work, but we need the income. So I have to keep what I have. So I continued to do four things, I feel like pretty well during that time, which was post on social media, work on myself, support the team I had, and create follow up and reach out systems and scripts so that I could have good uh, retain retention and just support who I had. So I never quit and I ranked Emerald July of 2025.
That is so crazy. That's so crazy. So let me just stop right here because so you continued to work your business even when you were sick. So, like, did you struggle with belief in the products, or did you just know ultimately that, it was just part of the healing process?
So sometimes I did struggle with belief in the products because when you get that sick again, when you really, really don't feel well, you're like, oh, this stuff it just quit working or something, right? So I was never brave enough to go off of everything all at once, but like I would quit Slim. Oh, right away I'd be like, I don't feel well, but I have to have my Slim. I feel even worse without it.
Yeah.
I'd quit ProBio 5. Well, I gotta have my ProBio 5. So it's like I have never, ever been able to go without my Plexus products in 11 years. So
Wow.
even though I had like flares and stuff, as soon as I would quit any of the products, I could tell right away that I
Mhm.
was getting worse. And I'd start them back up again. I don't think I ever went without anything for more than 2 weeks. And even that was like almost torture. I went without Slim for 2 weeks because I was like, I gotta figure out. As soon as I got back on it again, I was like, well, it is keeping me alive. Like, so yeah, I did struggle with belief, but never for long because like I said, like
Right.
I could tell right away that it really was working for me. I had to add in some detox stuff. I had to get through different healing crises, support myself in a few different ways. I'm so glad we have Restore now because like my
Yes.
liver doesn't detox properly and this works better than anything else I've tried for my liver.
Hmm.
So I'm really like I understand that my body is, I guess, somewhat fragile. I may have another setback, but I honestly feel like with pretty much every product that Plexus has come out with, it has supported my body on another level where it's like, I really am hopeful. Like I may get sick again, but I feel like it won't be as long or as bad, or you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes complete sense. So, okay, so you're at Senior Ruby for 9 years. That is a feat to actually maintain that. Like, I'm super impressed. Um,
We were extremely grateful, extremely grateful.
so was your team adding new people during this time? I mean, because obviously attrition happened. So was it just kind of like a add in enough that was covering the attrition part? I mean, like, what did that look like during those 9 years?
So we were adding, I mean, very slowly, but we were adding, and it was definitely, making up for any attrition. Although I will say Plexus has even told me that my team has one of the best retention rates ever. And I'm like, well, that's obvious because I maintained and continue growing very, very slowly for 9 years.
Hmm. So do you contribute that to like belief in the products? Like, what do you really focus on the product belief? Because
Belief in the product.
well,
Go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say we were talking about this on the trip, the Emerald trip with Amber Miller, and she has one of the top. retention teams in all of Plexus. Like I think she is the highest diamond retention team. But we were just talking about how that, and you're under her, you're under Amber, you're what, under Brenda Martin somewhere? Is it
Yes,
under,
I'm
or
Brenda
is
Martin's level
Danette your
2.
aunt, Danette Martin?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so.
Yes.
I love Danette. She's awesome. So
Yeah.
you're somewhere, you're Brenda's what?
Level 2.
Okay, so and Brenda's under Amber, so Kristen, and then Amber. So anyway, it doesn't matter. But point being that the Amber, Lori, Kristen, Brenda, like the Wendy Larson, the products. They on them, say on them,
Mhm.
say on them. Like when I first started, that was hounded over and over and over. Belief in the products, belief in the products. So do you think that is a big thing for your team? I mean, it sounds like it.
Yes, it definitely is. Especially like I said, I tried so many things and even, going off of the products thinking, oh, maybe they don't work anymore and realizing yes, they do. Like I have unshakable belief. This stuff works. I have lived it for 11 years after being sick for 17,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Um, Another big part of the retention is, like I said, there was different time, like it kind of, especially like the second time I got sick, I was like, I have to create really good follow-up systems and reach out systems to the team I have to keep them because number one, they need these products. I already had that unshakable belief. But number two, like I said, I was sick in bed. We needed the income. I couldn't go get a job. I had to keep what I had.
Yeah.
So belief and good systems to retain what you have.
Okay, so talk about those systems. Were they really complicated? Kind of, I mean, like, what did that look like?
I don't feel like it was complicated. I just laid in bed and thought, okay, what do I want to be sure to communicate to each VIP and ambassador that I have? So, I just jotted down, I wanted to make sure to tell them about how to manage their subscription. I wanted to be sure to tell them about detox. I wanted, just all the different things. And then I just put the things that I wanted to be sure to communicate and of course sharing and how to earn some referral cash. And then I just put it in a flow and shared it with everybody on my team and shared it anytime someone signed up, someone new. I was like, be sure to follow up with them.
Yeah.
Like we do not sign people up and then not follow up with them because we are here for results. Like we are
Mhm.
not here for a sign up, we're here for results. So
Yeah.
don't even sign anyone up unless you're going to follow up with
Mhm.
them. I was adamant about that.
Yeah. No, that's really good. That's really good. Okay, so fast forward to this year. What was this year looking like? I mean, you went Emerald in July. So what did something change? I mean, what were your points looking like this time last year? Were you slowly increasing or was it like a burst or what did that look like? Because senior Ruby to Emerald is 750 points to
Right, right,
1,500 points. So, like, what did
right.
that look like for you?
So I did, my sister has been my biggest leg pretty much always, which looks a little different because they're actually in a very conservative church that doesn't use the internet. I know, right? So a
So
little
you can
extra work.
grow without social media and internet?
You can, because guess
Wow.
what? It's about loving people and talking to them.
Yeah. I mean, but
For
it does make it easier, but I'm just saying for those people that, for those people, you know.
right. There's no posting involved. There's just talking to people. Now they do text, so we put together like text classes, what we call them. I'm actually starting one tomorrow for them. And one thing is a little different with them because they don't have like the social media fatigue,
Yeah.
because they don't even have smartphones. I can't send videos. It's only text and graphics.
Interesting.
Um, the text classes I run are actually 3 days long. And we tell lots of stories and we tell about every single product. I mean, just a blurb.
Yeah.
But then, we talk about blood sugar balance, inflammation, gut health. We give them a whole class over 3 days' time. They love it. So they would kind of, they were honestly most of my growth over that time. And it was really easy because I just could plug and play, right? They did the inviting. I ran the text class. They would add 20 people, like boom.
That's amazing.
So they were quite a bit of it, but I had had a customer for 8 years, who I had told her probably 10 times, you would be fantastic at this. I want to work with you. And the answer was always no, like very firmly no. But when convention was going to be in Dallas, that's just 3 hours from her. And so I was like, hey, Jessica, any chance you want to come to Dallas? I know you love your products. You could learn more about them. We could see each other after like 20 some years we hadn't seen each other, just been, Facebook friends. We could hang out and have fun. No, that was in November of last year. In March, she messaged me and she's like, so I've been thinking about possibly doing what you're talking about, but I doubt I would have enough time. And I was just like, do you got 15 minutes a day? I know people who have built this in 15 minutes a day. And she was like, oh, yeah. And she took off running and went senior gold in 4 months. So that's really what pushed me. She actually went gold in 1 month.
Wow.
Yes, in 1 month. In was it March, May, April, she went gold.
Okay.
Um, and then she went senior gold in 4 months. So that is it actually was so fun. We ranked up the same month.
Oh, that's awesome.
I ranked up to Emerald on July 30th, and she ranked up to Senior Gold on July 31st. So that
Oh,
was super fun. So that was really kind of that's one of the things. It's like when they say, like, until you get an absolute hard no, like, never, ever, ever talk to me about this again, keep asking.
yeah.
And honestly, I was scared to death to ask her because I kind of felt like I had had a pretty hard no. But then guess what? It turned into a yes. And she
Yeah.
loves the business and she's so excited about it. So that's kind of what pushed me over to Emerald this year.
That is so a customer for 8 years, and you've repeatedly gone back to her.
Yep.
That's crazy. Like that's so crazy. That's just proof though. I mean, when the fortune is in the follow-up. I mean, even 8 years later, even after all the no's, we're still
And that's
popping
what
in.
so she told me. She's like, she had dabbled in sharing before, because she really did believe in the products, but she's like, the time was right for me right now. I needed the business. She
Yes.
is an RN and she could not find a job that she felt like she could ethically do because everything is so pharmaceutical based and doesn't actually heal people.
Mhm.
And she was like, she's like, I don't even feel like I can be an RN anymore. In fact, she had quit her RN job and she was decorating cakes in a supermarket
That is
because she couldn't
crazy.
find it. And then she was like, hold up, I believe in these products and I see them working. Why couldn't I share these? And so she
Yeah.
actually feels like she's being an RN now, but like in a
Oh,
way that
that's
she's
cool.
actually serving, like helping
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. That is so amazing. Okay, so Julie asked, during your flare-ups and health challenges, how did you inspire consistency in your leaders when you weren't able to build aggressively during those time periods?
I probably didn't. I'll be real honest. And that's where, like, sometimes it's a bit hard to tell my story because I want it to sound all like encouraging and stuff, but I went through a lot of hard.
Yeah.
I probably wasn't very inspiring. I didn't have like leaders, I didn't have builders. The people who got me to Senior Ruby, like, besides my sister, aren't even, they're still with me, they're still ordering product, but they
Mhm.
aren't building anymore. I have hopes that some of them will come back, but you just keep going forward and finding new people that do want this, like your 8-year-old customer.
Yeah.
Um, I I guess I was really good at inspiring consistency with the products, but yeah, I had pretty much lost all of my business leaders.
Hmm. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? This has been so good.
One thing that several people have asked me, they're like, what made you keep going? Because so many people just they quit if they, they're like, I guess Emerald's not for me. I'm going to go somewhere else, or I'm not doing this anymore. This is, well, like I already shared before, I needed the money. I couldn't go get a job when I was lying sick. When I would get better, I'd be fine and I would work, I could grow. But the one thing that really made me keep going when I saw other people ranking around me, like Jennifer and I'm pretty sure we even went Senior Ruby the same month. I don't remember,
I'll have to
but
go back and look, but yeah,
we were like on the
we
same
were.
track. We used to do
Hmm.
a lot together.
Hmm.
Um, what made me keep going when I saw Jennifer and other people like zooming past me? I do not compare myself to other people, and neither should you.
Mm,
Each one of us has completely different levels of influence when we come in. We have different levels of health. We have different perspectives. We have different, it, everything about us is different. We have different leaders. Like, I wasn't even told this was a business. Like, I didn't understand any of that for months. And then I didn't really have anyone mentoring me for a while until Brenda Martin was like, "Oh, hey, let me help you out." you know? Um, so I just continued to focus on self-awareness and what I needed to learn and do. It wasn't like, oh, why, what is wrong with me? It was like, no, where do I need to get better? I also continually just brought myself back to the truth that like God called me to this. I was
mhm,
praying for a miracle. He gave me one. It didn't look like what I thought it was going to look like, but he
mhm.
gave me one.
Yeah.
And I clearly remember the day that I was standing in my kitchen and I heard him say, "To whom much is given, much is required, and
Mhm.
this is your work to do." So even the times it was really, really hard and I was like, how am I supposed to work when I don't feel well? He's like, be faithful with what you have,
Yeah.
steward what you have. And that's what I did. And I'm just so, so grateful that he continues to bless me with this.
I love that. And that's when you were talking, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, she was faithful. She stewarded what she had the best you could during those times of being in bed and having those hard seasons. You just did the best you could and kept going and you were consistent. So, of
Right.
course, yeah. And now you're reaping a big fat harvest and got to go on the Alaskan cruise.
Right. Total
Yeah.
bucket list. When they announced that, my husband and I looked at each other and were like, all right, we're going to figure out how to go Emerald. And we did.
Yeah, that's awesome. Excuse me. Okay. Oh, anybody have any last questions for Sonya? This has been amazing, and I'll have the recording up by tomorrow morning for sure. My takeaway, don't give up and be faithful. That's right. Don't give up and be faithful. So good, Sonya.
And I will say, I've told a couple people to like, oh, just don't quit. But it is more than that.
Hmm.
I've seen people not quit and yet they're still at gold or they're still at senior gold or they're still at senior ruby. You just not quitting isn't enough. You do have to continue being like, where do I need to grow? This
Yeah.
really is personal growth with a compensation plan.
Yeah.
So if you find yourself stuck, there's a reason, and you can't just not quit. You have to figure out what you have to learn and what you have to implement.
Hmm.
You can't just read the book, you got to do it then, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
And I'm totally still on that journey. I definitely don't have it all figured out.
Yeah, I'm with you. Julie said, be faithful what you've been given during those challenging times. That's so true. So
Yep,
true. All right, good deal. Well, this has been so encouraging and inspiring. Thank you, Sonya. Thank you guys for jumping on. And I am so grateful for you, my friend. And I'm excited to watch your journey unfold. Sapphire next, right?
that's right. And somebody asked me like, how long till Sapphire? And I was like, well, hopefully not 11 years, but but you know what? Like I if I can leave you with one thing, it's like be grateful for what we have here.
Yeah.
Like truly be grateful for what we have here and it will grow.
That's so good. Gratitude. Yes. All right. Well, thank you guys for jumping on. And that's a great inspiration. Be grateful and keep being consistent and implement and like being self-aware and not comparing. That's huge. Not comparing your journey to someone else's. Yeah.
Every last one of you, I mispronounced this word on purpose, is incomparable. Okay? You're incomparable. So go be incomparable.
Mm. That's good. I'll write that on my mirror.
I
All
say
right.
incomparable because I think incomparable sounds stupid. So
Yeah. That's true though. Incomparable. I like it. All right. All right, friend. Thank you for being our guest. I appreciate you. All right. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank y'all for being on. Bye.
Good night.